Oh, right. Last time I went and unlocked in third slot, didn't I? So we got increased max HP, increased damage inflicted on puppets. And we've got increased weight limit and reduces weapon durability consumption. How much does this do? I'm at 57, 54. Okay, well that doesn't seem very significant. Oh. Oh, the rings themselves have a weight. That kind of sucks, doesn't it? Okay, so if I put on the sword, so each ring has its own weight, and if I put the one that reduces my weapon, my durability stuff consumption, then it'll make me heavy in a way that puts me over to the next category, I assume. So now my rolls probably suck or something. It's probably some kind of breaking point that's a big deal. But there's also one that reduces your increases your weight limit so that you can carry more better, which does help. It takes me from 57 to 54%, but it weighs 3.3. It's the heaviest one by far. So the ring that reduces improves your carry limit is itself heavy. So like, it seems to mostly defeat its own purpose by eating up the majority of the increased weight limit. Maybe it's percentage based, so if you have better weight limit based on increasing that one stat, maybe you get better results, but damn, that's an underwhelming result. But whatever. We'll just have to go until I find a better ring, and then maybe I'll swap up my gear slightly or level up my carry weight a little bit so that I'm less in trouble there. The evil muck pile. And how are you doing?
I can't die.
Yeah, bring me the holy mark. That came up before. Oh! Was it that plate right there? Okay. Welcome, traps. Rude. Awkward. Oh, I got the backstab out of that. It's kind of neat. Oh. No. Bad. Alright. Can you not use my durability up if you're not going to aim correctly? That's always kind of frustrating because I'm just like, you're the one that determines the aim. I don't get to aim it, so if it's going to miss, why do I get punished? There's gloopy glopes that are dropping stuff. There is an underground area. But I would definitely prefer to find that on foot rather than falling in. There's a safer way to get there. Because if you get there on foot, then you can also retreat the way you came if things go bad. Tentacles? These don't do anything. They're worrying though. Oop. It's funny how strong this weapon's getting, because I need to look up more. It's almost like the equivalent of those weapons that hit. Like the ultra great swords in Dark Souls with how strong it is and how I'm just one-shotting people. As far as normal enemies go. But it is just like a normal-ish looking sword. It's just what is heavy in this game's standards. So it's the Bone Crusher. And so on. Hi! Awkward. Thanks for missing. Worked out for me. We're fine. I saw this document, but I didn't want to activate it and lose my ability to quick open it if I was going to be attacked, because for a chunk of this playthrough, I thought the time paused when you paused the game. It doesn't normally in Souls games, but they kept giving me full screen documents to read, so I thought those meant that the game was pausing since this doesn't seem to have online features. This is why the cathedral was built and remembered. Pilgrims worship the merciful angel. Yeah, never mind. It's not a document. I thought it was a document, though. That's why I was putting it off. Another pool to be worried about, but looks like this one has somewhere to go at least, whereas the other one didn't seem to have somewhere to go. So before, that one that was just leading to a broken gate felt like it was just a trap. Put the lamp on here. Removes attribute status ailments. Special status ailments. Overheat, electric, decay, corruption. Okay. That's a weird way to describe it. Calling it an attribute status ailment makes me think it reduces my stats. Like, strength down. So having poison basically be one of those things is strange. But I guess it's a series of it's a series of negative effects that are represented by a meter building up. Other ones might be like that too, though. This is overheat, electric shock, decay, and corruption. This is shock, break, and disrupt. Oh, that's confusing. But no, yeah, I discussed that before, though, how there is shock and electric shock, and they're different stats, which is weird, but whatever. Now we know that. This increases resistance to make them not potentially come off at all. Okay, we'll see if I can get in and out or not. Oh. Outlook is grim. Yeah, I briefly thought, I think my lantern's off, and it was. Hi, everybody. No. Oh, that's the angry, slappy guy. Yep, no, we're worried about him. I don't want him to go angry, slappy when I'm also dealing with actual enemies, or other enemies. Okay, we got it. Oop, his head come off. Dim ergo. That's enough out of him. Okay. Eh. think this is a shortcut. Or... wait. I thought it was gonna go down. Now I kind of want to go back. Shit. Now I want to go back to the other path. Damn it.
Damn it. I can't find the way out. Monsters everywhere. I need to grab my share and leave.
Hey, buddy. Dogman! Are you the actual person supposed to be wearing this mask that seemed to turn into like maybe a Halloween event or something? Because the other items were clearly Christmas items, so I wonder if the dog mask is like a Halloween item. It's like a fun thing. I think people didn't have it when they played it at launch. Hello?
Oh, that's odd. I thought I was the only one with a sound mind here. Sure I don't need to introduce myself? Note these golden wings? Yes, you guessed it. You don't know who I am. Preposterous! Everyone in Krat has heard of me. Do you live under a rock? I'm Alidoro the Hound. Treasure hunter extraordinaire. Yes, it's a nickname. I ditched my real name in the past. I'm looking for other survivors of this disaster, but it's been a lonely search, and there's danger around every corner. Do you know of a place where I can take refuge? Preferably someplace clean and comfortable, you know, civilized.
Panini Works is not safe, so I don't know if he's good or not.
Hotel Krat. Of course. A haven for all. And it's still safe and sound, you say? I have a lot of searching ahead of me, so why don't I lighten my load? Consider this an act of charity. A thank you gift. Take it. Since you're so helpful, I'll give you a peek at my collection. Show me what you're worthy of.
Rare ergo. Kill strong enemies to gain rare ergo. Alidoro is a treasure hunter who collects this rare ergo. You can exchange it for Alidoro's precious weapons or amulets. Oh, he's the guy that sells boss weapons. Okay, maybe it's not that bad. I was worried because there's characters in Souls games where if you send them to your home, they're bad. So I worried whether or not I might be making a mistake there. Freaking Bloodborne hits you with that choice like 6 or 7 times, I think, and just one of them specifically is bad. But also one of the options you can send people to is bad, and there's just a lot going on there. Amulets, okay. 7 coiled spring sword. Etiquette. Holy Ash of the Ark. Motivity B and B. Bit promising there. Hard to say what you wouldn't want. Okay, so each row uses the same ergo. So I can somewhat base it on whether or not I want the ring in that slot, the amulet. Dancing One's Amulet. Enables dodging even with low stamina. It has a weight of 13! That's an incredibly heavy amulet. Why are these so heavy? Extreme Modification Amulet. Increases weapon attack in proportion to the number of Fable slots. Huh. That are currently full, or that you have maximum? An amulet can be equipped on a puppet. Information and memories that are useful for movement can be imprinted on the symbol to draw special powers. The Scrapped Watchman is an experimental piece modified to the extreme to test how far Krat's engineering skills could go. The result was impressive, but ultimately came at a cost. Well, I probably don't want this high technique skill thing. Well, it'd be funny to have a umbrella for a weapon, but the technique is not the stat I've been investing in. It's not going to be that this time. Increase weapon attack in proportion number of Fable slots. I always worry, with all the made-up terms, I worry that I'm just misinterpreting things. The Conquering Amulet. Upon successful perfect guard, temporarily increases damage inflicted by weapon attack. An additional reward for doing a perfect guard. That would be good to have. what if this is a good weapon? These are great swords. They cannot be disassembled, so you cannot... I can't take the moveset away, or switch to the blade or whatever. It becomes your weapon. So what's the difference between these two that are both motivity-based? Patient smash, an altar versus 7 explosions and guard parry. This one's better at damage reduction when guarding, and has higher damage. This one has better Fable charge, charge pulse cells. I'm not totally sure on how to compare weapons, really. It's hard to say. We just don't know what the weapons... We don't know, like, what the stats are. And this is a 7-coil spring sword, so it makes me wonder, like, is it just physical? 7 explosions. A strong downward blow. When you cut downward, multiple explosions will deal damage to enemies in front of you. That sounds cool. Guard parry. Time the enemy's attack to correctly deflect it and trigger a powerful counterattack. I thought that it would do electric damage, honestly, or something like that, because it looks like a lightning rod thingy from, was it Sekiro or something? I might be thinking of something from Okami, actually. Patient smash. Gather your strength for a strong hit. Hold down the attack button to activate a stronger attack. Transform the length of the handle. After transforming, stamina consumption is reduced temporarily. Well, this I know I'm going to get because I'm not going to get that other one. So let's grab this for now. I might just Google, like, what's the best strength weapon? And just, like, gauge whether or not these rank versus, like, whether or not I might want their amulet instead. Because this looks like a promising weapon to maybe even just switch to entirely, as much as I don't want to fall behind on resources, although I guess it probably requires the other resource that I only have a few of, the special ones, since it's a special weapon. That might be a cool thing to switch to, if its moveset's good. But I have to, like, look up its moveset online, because you can't preview it, and if I buy it, I lose access to this good amulet that makes it so that perfect guarding is a good thing to do, which I'm trying to make my perfect guards better, to better incentivize practicing them. So, getting stronger whenever I do one would also be cool. But I guess he's probably going to be in town now. He seems like an important NPC. So we're probably going to be fine.
As a descendant of aristocrats, the very best families, I have a duty to the common people. I live my life fulfilling that duty. And part of that duty is ensuring these items are returned to their rightful owners. What I'm showing you is just a portion of the collection. If you come to the refuge, we'll be able to continue our confabulation. Until then, remember this hound when golden wings shine.
He also seems like a douchebag, which is funny, because, like, you want to talk about deliberate references to Dark Souls that this game is full of and so on. This guy's on a balcony by the sun. And you have a charming character you meet, and he has a heritage and so on in this setting. And it's like, oh, hello, Solaire. Not exactly, obviously, but this is a nod. Like, he's framed by the sun on purpose. This is a praise the sun cooperative character, so you're kind of signaled to think that he might be on your side. We'll see if that's true or not, or if it's a betrayal or something. But yeah, he's definitely the same character. Him and Solaire have a certain level of, like, they kind of put on airs to a certain extent, and they kind of have a themed costume that they draw attention to and so on. But this guy in particular kind of gives some Gilderoy Lockhart vibes of being, like, a person that's a little too full of themselves and maybe just maybe in over his head and doesn't know what he's doing even, potentially. But that's me also kind of drawing conclusions based on vibes. But yeah, you meet him in a context that very much calls attention to the praise the sun way that you meet Solaire originally. I guess this is a dead end. Okay. That's good. I was worried that I was accidentally taking a long elevator to, like, the actual plot direction. And was gonna have to ride it the elevator all the way back down to check out that other thing, that loose end I saw earlier, then ride it all the way back up to come up again, but looks like it was a dead end with a character that will now be back in town, probably. And we'll meet him there. And I'll make a decision about whether or not I want to switch to one of his weapons before I make the call about upgrading again. Where was that blue item? I saw an item. Careful. Archbishop's diary. Date. Just gone. Why have the date listed if you're just not going to actually have a date? It's just odd to me. Cecile's unwell again. Today, the Addams brothers found her standing like one of the dead at the edge of a cliff and brought her back. If it's mild sleepwalking, it's fine, but I'm worried it's her old blood compulsiveness again. I know about her strong beliefs better than anyone else, so it's really too bad. God will be glad with the atoned. Perhaps I should ask her for atonement for visiting the Isle of Alchemists. Another day. I have their relic in my hand, thanks to Cecile. I won't let those bastards ruin Krat anymore. This will purify the city. Maybe it was a mistake to accept those guys from the beginning. This disaster was divine judgment. They should have been turned away all those 30 years ago. But this will be the end. Krat is a city blessed by God, and I, Andreus, will come to its rescue. The journal is badly torn. Why? Me? I don't want to die. Why? Me? It's just burned in my brain forever. Pops. Glorps. Gross. What are they, though, and why do they do that? They sit there growing forever, they don't attack anyone else that comes in, but they specifically come after me? Yeah, so I wanted to put the extreme modification thing on instead of the weight limit one. I should check my attack stat first, though. 181 plus 92. (181 plus 92). Okay, so it doesn't increase my attack. It's useless to me at the moment. Maybe when I increase that meter's duration, it'll start doing something. I'm guessing being at 3 pips equals nothing. Workshop union strengthening a frame. Ah, and right. Also, I'm realizing that what's going on is that those 3 icons under my bars are the 3 rings I'm wearing. Now that I've noticed that it went from 2 to 3, and specifically the third one is clearly increased weight carrying limit, which is much less, requires much less interpretation than the other icons do. Oh, right, this door over here. Briefly, I was like, wait, where do I actually go? Dead end? Yeah, these are weird. They look like they would take a while to grow. It's like, what is this life form? Why does it attack people by just explode, like falling on them and exploding whenever something passes under it? Ah. It's so explosive. And why is it waiting for me specifically, and why does it not attack any of the other creatures? I guess they're made of the same stuff. There's a few different options here. On one hand, the way that the entire thing just explodes instantly away is like, it's a little goofy and cartoony and like video gamey in the moment. That stuff's gone too. But at the same time, it's incredibly stylish to just have it smoothly just all be gone like that. It is pretty cool. It's good to have some style. Boss fight. Big boss fight. With a whole summoning thing in front of it. Okay. I didn't think we were quite there yet, but it's time. I'm a bit nervous. Let's see. Before I actually go back to town, let's just grab any items that are between here and the boss fight door. And sing praise for a new saint has arrived. I, Saint Andreus, will consecrate this land. I talked to a few people about this game, and they all hate that too. Part where the dialogue just goes away. Or not the dialogue, but things you read just go away like immediately. Like, what the fuck you, just let me read it. They should patch that. Why don't they patch that? Or even just let it be press A to continue. Given the warning that the game gives us in the form of that thing, a little summoning thing, I definitely just want to like spend any resources I can so I don't have to worry about walking into a boss fight with stuff to lose. Or like, I think it spawns in front of the boss fight anyway, so I guess it's not much of a concern. This game's not really full of dangerous boss runs where you get back. I was considering getting a new weapon, but let's not try to learn a new weapon during a boss fight, so I'll put that off until afterwards. Let's just see how we're doing on required ergo 34, 40, 67. Okay. You just tell me the number. Actually, it'll just be here. Yeah, I have enough. Okay. I'll find a way. Oops, a little too far. Oh well.
I'll use my power.
I mathed wrong. Once again. I regret to inform you that I have once again posted cringe. Did he actually move here? I still somewhat worry that it might be bad when he does. Look at my little double roll. And all it cost me is all of my meter. Devastatingly so. Alright, so we've fought 2 major bosses so far, and the second one I beat faster than the first one. 1 less attempt, I think. I think it took me 4 and then 3. Can I top that? Probably not. These are probably going to get progressively harder. What is that icon? There was an icon by the teleport spot. Was it? Is the most recent level always marked that way? I don't think it is. I feel like it wasn't marked that way a minute ago. And by a minute ago, I mean half an hour ago when this episode started. What a nice little boss run with no enemies. How polite. Ooh, claws. Oh, it's you. Hot? Okay, yep, the one-winged angel would be the next boss fight. So when was the angel come out, I wonder? Must be a phase change. Ah! Ow. Ow. I think I did get that one. Ah! Ah! It's a phase change, isn't it? I did that. There's no way I beat it on my first try. The tentacle never came out, but you could hear me getting desperate in my silence. Gross. Okay, it's gonna be a little hard to see in this part. No, I had to heal. Also, I think I was failing to activate fire mode. I tried activating my fire, and I don't think it ever quite took. Probably takes longer to charge than that. I don't know. Not bad getting to phase 2 on my first try. Phase 1's not that hard overall. I just need to get it together. Relatively telegraphed attacks, not a ton of surprises. Just gotta stop blowing it. Not doing great. Yeah, I'm not doing great. I'm just soaking hits now. Really? Ah. Not great. Better follow up though, remembering that I have a blue attack. No, he does attack from the side. What the f- No! Damn it, I had to think too much. I was about to switch to my... I was trying to switch to my, temporary hit points thing I've never used before. But I have to sit there and, like, look at it and think about my menu items. Wow! Fire did a lot of damage. I blazed through so much of phase 2, having not actually engaged with it very much. Like, I just got behind him and flailed a bit. I didn't actually have to engage with the angel much. Ah! His combos run into each other too much. Get me in trouble. Ow! It's not normally how I react to that. I'm fucking up. What? That hit me? I thought I was out of range. Damn it, I never get that one. It's very frustrating to be that close to the enemy during a big opening and not have the attack reach. Damn it. Ah, shit. What? Where are my temporary hit points? Yeah. No. I don't... What the fuck does the cube do? I don't understand. It said it gives you temporary hit points and I used it and I got like a hit point. And it has a huge casting time. What is the point of it? Decay occurs when acid damage builds up. What? For both your character and the monsters increases acid damage taken. It inflicts continuous weapon durability and acid damage on your character. It increases destruction damage to monsters. The higher your acid resistance, the slower the decay couch fills. Did I get decayed? Why'd that pop up now? I imagine it might have popped up because this is the location where there's a pool of decay, but that should have happened like an hour ago. Anyway, I'm doing fine. I need to get through phase 1 with more health. I shouldn't be having this much trouble, honestly. Its range is fucking with me. It feels like he's right in front of me, but I can't reach him. No. Okay, much better. Yeah, I definitely get fucked over by some combos where I'm like, he's right in front of me, just counterattack, but he like knocked me back enough and my reach isn't that good. Like my reach is pretty good normally, but he's so... Enemies that are this big throw off your sense of scale and suddenly you have a tiny twig for a weapon. You're gonna have a lot of trouble reaching them. I have way more than before. Ow. Oh, fuck. I broke my weapon. Okay. No! Ah.
And now, the stage is set.
What does that mean? Twisted Angel's Ergo.
To go back to the old Krat. The old me. Before the greed overtook me.
Huh. A few things. One, I thought that they said the grindstone couldn't save a weapon that was broken, but it sure seemed like my weapon broke, and then I fixed it with a grindstone. Like it looked like it was all the way empty. I don't know if the rules are different when it's a status effect or something. But anyway, the cadence of these games that you tend to have tells me, oh, I did the Lord Vessel, I guess. The last four bosses of Dark Souls 1, the first four bosses of Dark Souls 2, that kind of thing, the Shrine of Winter. They all combined the greater souls into a thing. What's strange is that two of them... So of the things I killed, one of them was a machine, and one of them was a puppet. The other one was like an industrial machine that arguably probably runs on the technology of puppets. The next one was just a weird Nightmare Lovecraft monster thingy. So why would they be compatible and a part of the same overall system in any way, is what I wonder. But like maybe they're not, I don't know. It could just it could be just a simple fact that like the combining element is just the ergo. They all are made of or harness ergo, and their greater ergo was released in some way. but like not the same way that I get it, but also released into the world in some way, I guess. Either way, there's some cackling villain where this was all according to Keikaku somehow, and we're just gonna have to deal with that later.
People have no idea so many secrets are buried in Krat. Thanks for keeping me company. What are you curious about?
There he is. It's funny, this felt like an empty area where when I ran by, I thought this might be where he showed up. And he did.
Oh, it's you! This hotel is indeed a refuge from the dangers of the outside world. I am the Hound, a descendant of the city's most aristocratic families. Repaying debts is what we nobles do. Anyone with a worthy spirit is especially welcome. Accordingly, I shall give you the honor of laying eyes upon my treasure. However, you must prove your worthiness. For this legendary treasure, the ergo of a powerful enemy shall suffice. It's up to you if you want to make the exchange. Take your time to admire it. I've certainly done likewise.
Beautiful symmetry is gone. No. It was so nice having a weapon, and then right below it was the ring, the amulet you could get instead with the same item. Now I have to think that like, oh, this thing and this thing are the same, and this thing 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 and this thing. All right. Motivity C, technique B, the Trident of the Covenant. So probably not going to use that one. Nameless One's Amulet. Has a chance of none being consumed when using pulse cells. Has a chance of none being consumed when using pulse cells. What is a pulse cell? Is it my healing item? I think the pulse cell is my healing item. The Conquering Amulet. I definitely want this, but only if I don't want this. I still need to check, potentially. Anyway, the stuff he sells doesn't cost any normal souls, so I can just go ahead and spend those accordingly. What else did I get from that boss fight? Nothing in here is listed as new. The Twisted Angel's Ergo. Gold caused even the devout saint to crumble little by little. Unable to acknowledge how corrupt he had become, he escaped into a delusion that he had been chosen by the angel. I got one of these. So this is the special weapon. Yep. Special weapon up to +3. So this is what you use for those ones, probably. The ones you get from him. As opposed to these that are a whole other currency. Special amulets are in their own separate category down here. They weigh so much more. Goddamn. Don't think I got much new though. The Archbishop's Holy Mark. A holy mark obtained from the Archbishop's room. It is the Archbishop's item that Cecile wanted to see at her last moments. The Archbishop was such a man of character that they killed him. They called him the Saint of Krat. They say his moral influence even made murderers repent before God. That's the holy mark. Okay, let's go do that real quick before I forgot. And that's why the icon was here. Oops. Oh, did I accidentally... Did killing the boss, like, pass time and I failed her now? You have to specifically get it back to her right after you first pick it up, but before you fight the boss. That's a little annoying if that's the case.
It's too late to stop me with a measly holy mark.
Oh no.
I wonder what your flesh tastes like.
That's not good. Oh. Well, that's sad. She was actively transforming. Well, at least you get a little bit of story, and that you get to see the upsetting outcome of you not giving it to her. Not just she just disappears or something. She was actively transforming into one of those things, and killing the boss first fails it.
I've been investigating the puppet frenzy, and it looks like I need your help. First, let me show you a little something I've been working on. I call it the Ergo Wavelength Decoder. The name lacks a certain flair, but I assure you it works. If my suspicions are correct, something in the puppet's very ergo is causing their aggression. My decoder can find malicious signals within the waves, but I cannot possibly get close enough to gather the ergo wave records myself. You, on the other hand, would you? Could you? I refuse to believe the King of Puppets is truly behind this puppet rampage. It's too simple, but also a bit too much even for him. No. I suspect the ergo itself is corrupted, or at least compromised. I do so desperately want to find the cause, as I'm sure you do too, my friend. It breaks my heart to see puppets turned into murderous tools of bloodshed.
Ergo Wavelength Decoder. An Ergo Wavelength Decoder left by Venini. This device finds errors in the Grand Covenant and prints it on the puppets. Venini decided to analyze the puppet's ergo wavelengths to determine the cause of the puppet frenzy. You should be able to collect quite a number of records while getting rid of the puppets all over Krat.
I always welcome friends. May I be of service?
That's going to be it for now. Falcon Eyes. High-powered flame amplifier. Did we not get a new thing to make a new arm out of from that boss? I guess the other two bosses were puppets and this one wasn't. So you wouldn't necessarily drop a part to modify. Alright. I learned something! Okay. So the cool blade is looking like a good option for this build.
A great weapon calls for a great warrior.
Hello. Holy Sword of the Ark. That leaves dodging with no stamina, has a chance of none being consumed using pulse cells. Perfect guard. Yeah, I lose that from getting that, which sucks. But it sounds like it's a good weapon. And a chance of not consuming pulse cells could be good. If I have the space for it ever. Oh, I'm so heavy. Okay. So right now this weapon does 140 plus 87. This one does 180 plus 92. So about the same bonus damage, but it's currently doing 40 less damage. So we're going to want to upgrade it in a number of ways. Can I give it a motivity upgrade? But there's a few changes to also look at.
I always welcome.
Where's the other one? Do you sell it?
At the House of Venini, even priceless things have...
There it is.
I always welcome.
Movable charge. We'll get there eventually, maybe. Alright. So my understanding is that lightning effects increase the stagger damage on things. This is something I learned while I was looking into this weapon. So you want to be able to apply... There you go, now it's lightning-y. Which makes it vulnerable to stagger. In this case, it's kind of a bad example, because almost anything just makes him fully staggerable because he's a dummy. But this gives us incentive to worry about things like this. Our ability to give a weapon lightning effects, and so on. So we can apply weapon lightning to our weapon with this effect, and we can get a lightning offhand just to give us opportunities to stack lightning effect. I'm a little torn because having the fire weapon was really cool and got me to the last boss fight, so being able to apply fire is handy, but hopefully lightning will pay off too. Anyway, this weapon's even more staggery than ever before, it looks like, because it's a big scary sword. So you have incentive to want to be able to apply lightning to someone with the hopes that you can just delete them. Look at this big sword. God, it really is embracing the strength build. We were talking about before about how it kind of felt like I was using an ultra great sword with how much it one-shots people. This is an ultra great sword, though. God damn. Ah, it's a charge hit. It's a big hit. Okay. And here's the interesting thing about this one, though. It turns into a different weapon! It's a fucking Bloodborne trick blade! It turns into a fucking, like, long-ranged weapon. Which is interesting because I've so far never used any of the blocking Y buttons. I never really want to try to use them. I'm never sure about them, in part because, like, you have to use them defensively in specific contexts, but I don't even know how they'll work. It makes me nervous. But being able to do this, well, that's the mode switch. That's valuable. I have reason to want to do this. This is cool. Yeah. That's interesting. Ah, and that changes the Y hit. Now, whoa! That's cool. It's a really rapid fire, veritable dervish of an attack. And there's the charged attack for this. So when you go into this state, it acts less like a heavy weapon, essentially. Like, this is my... This is probably my exploration mode that I use against random dudes. And then when it's time to fight a boss fight and I have to actually be able to land heavy hits and trade and so on, I switch back to this. It does cost me a blue. You can't just do it freely. But it is permanent. Like, or it's permanent until you do it again. As in, like, it's not a cooldown or timer-based buff thing. What an interesting weapon. This might be the build for this playthrough then, is this thing. Let's get it upgraded. The thing is, I need to figure out how to get...
The Hound? Is it true you brought him here? Wow, I didn't know he was still alive. Thank heavens. I haven't seen him in person, and I don't know how I'd react. How do you thank the man who saved your life? I'm so glad that someone so kind has reached safety. And speaking of safety, please take care of yourself out there. You're not the only one who's curious. Most people get around to asking where I'm from. My looks give it away, don't they? Suffice it to say, I'm from the country of the morning, beyond the ocean. But I wouldn't be much of a tour guide. All I know about it is their weapons. My family was a house of weapons specialists. It's quite a reputation to live up to. They almost took charge of planning for the grand exhibition. But that's their reputation, not mine. and they deserted me when I was little. I don't even know who they are. And my reputation is my own. I suppose my only connection to them would be weapons. So I'm an orphan, and that hardly makes me exotic in Krat. Can I help you with anything else?
Damn. Ma'am, this is an Applebee's. No, it's just like the, it's just the thing where you just show up for one thing and they're like, hi, would you like an entire thing? Oh. Wait, motivity crank 0 out of 2? Can you increase motivity again? Either way, I'm gonna need more motivity cranks. I need to figure out how to get more of them. I think you can improve. It's listed here, so yeah, I think you can, even though this can't be disassembled, I think you can increase the motivity of the Holy Sword. For now, I'll just settle for upgrading it, I think. Yep, 1 Covenant Moon thing. That increases damage by 30, which almost catches it up with my current weapon. But I think I can reasonably use this weapon for now. I'll have to find 2 more Dark Moon Moonstones next to keep that going.
Welcome to Hotel Krat.
Did you? Ooh. Okay. I mean, if they're just gonna be there, I guess I'll upgrade my weapon again. Thank you. How nice of you.
I know my way around a weapon.
It's gonna be another 31 damage. Now this should already do more damage than my previous weapon did. Yeah. That's a bad comparison because that's showing its upgrade damage, but 181 plus 92, 201 plus 87. So it has worse motivity scaling at the moment, but it will have better when I get to upgrade it to actually be with parity, but its base damage is already higher. Not always a perfect comparison because things also, let's see. Not always a perfect comparison because everything has moved different speeds, but this one has better, it has better charge pulse cells and a better Fable charge. So this weapon also increases both my blue meter and restores my last pulse cell better. So that's good. I think we can go ahead and move on with that for my other weapon then. Hell, given the fact that you can switch between 2 different move sets, you probably don't even need you probably have more reason than ever to not have to wear a second weapon. I'm getting heavy. Probably want to spend my resources on getting less heavy if I can. But yeah, I need to find a motivity crank now. By the way, I'm not meaning to like make fun of her backstory or anything. It's just like, it's just quite a thing where you're like, hey, I'm here to upgrade my weapon, and then you just get this like extended thing about being an orphan. I'm like, oh, okay.
The cathedral. It seems nowhere is safe now. Maybe those who went there seeking refuge became monsters somehow. But the petrification disease turns you to stone, not into a monster. I'm worried about the Malam district, just below the cathedral. I wonder whether there are monsters there, too.
Probably increase my capacity to deal with some of the weight problem. Wow, this increases it by 4. That's relatively fast progress, at least. I definitely cannot afford my next bit. That was a chunk of capacity. Yeah, I'm probably behind on upgrading my capacity. It's probably trying to focus on that and stamina for a bit. I don't think I got... Yeah. did not gain any quartz, I don't think.
A victim of the petrification disease turned into a monster. That's just tragic. Could the disease lead to puppet frenzy? No, that doesn't make sense. Remember, puppets cannot get the disease. But puppets shouldn't frenzy either. I made them to obey and protect humans, not go berserk and harm them. But the stalkers blame me. They think I worked with the alchemists to spread the disease to puppets. How sad. All this resentment, with a lie at the root of it. That's why my only wish is that you stay a good boy. No resentment. No lies.
Good boy?
The city of Krat.
So Geppetto specifically wants us to not lie, which is a problem because we at least sometimes need to lie to do anything. Like we couldn't get in this... Well, I didn't test it, but it was presented like we couldn't get in this building without lying. It is probably correct. It's probably true. Seems about right. I'm gonna not interrogate my own mistakes. I haven't talked to you since beating the boss. I only talked to you before, I think.
People have no idea.
Oh, same as before. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Get back in there. I'm now more Stwangler than ever before. Okay, and we're back. The game is kind of like a linear hallway for the most part, where you go from thing to thing and push forward. Yeah, that was the hole we saw from before. Yep, so this is where that was leading. That's definitely one thing that wasn't taken from the influence, is the fact that the this game is overall one big hallway that where you play all the levels in completely linear order to the point where you just like go straight from the end of one boss chamber to forward into the next thing. There's still a fair bit of exploration and poking around and checking for secrets and things. Look how cool his weapon looks. I might wear this head forever. I don't know if I'll wear this coat forever, but so far they haven't hit me with a new coat that's more compelling. It just fits, which makes sense because it's literally the appearance of that character. Now we know that. But with this weapon, it looks neat. I also I do kind of like having a weapon that has like a cleaner silhouette than having the big grappling hook sticking out of it. It was a fun grappling hook to use a few times on bosses. I don't know, or on random small enemies. I don't know how helpful it was going to be against bosses. And if this thing helps with stagger, then it's great for bosses potentially. And I more care about what stuff helps me against bosses and those mini boss enemies and so on. I prefer that over things that... Does he have tentacles or antlers? Ah, bad doggy. That's upsetting. They're turning into the thing. Yeah, normal enemies are so easily dispatched by having a strong weapon to begin with. I don't really care about having gimmicky tricks for playing with them as much. God, this weapon looks cool though.
Once, Krat was just a small town on the coast of little importance. Before Elysian Boulevard was built, this place literally was all there was of Krat. But when some in the city prospered, they left the old town behind. Through isolation and neglect, Krat's first incarnation became nothing but dangerous alleys and desperate slums. On the bright side, I guess, the whole city of Krat's pretty much like that now. The old town caught up with the new. It's true what they say. A receding tide sinks all boats.
Cannot use this now. What? A child who was a blessing to their family lies here. May rest in peace. What is this? Can't use it. There was a bird taunting me on it. I don't know if I was supposed to interact when the bird was there, but I was waiting for the dialogue to play out. I feel like there was a... I do feel like there was a door back in the last region that I didn't necessarily open from behind. Maybe they'll give me a reason to go back later. Or maybe I even technically found access to it but didn't go that way. Possibly. Oh, there's a shortcut for later. Right next to the turlet. Ow. I was really hoping the heavy attack would hit both of them. Who's there? Nope. Ah! That back... I just was like, here comes an attack. I'll step back, then charge my attack, and then I just got hit by it, because that was not nearly enough of a back dodge to actually work. That looks like a whole zone. What's on over here? Ah! Okay, I'm fine. The acidic blade. Acid on a weapon sounds like a bad idea. Let's poke at this thing again. What the fuck is it? Oh, I'm out of it. Because you restore the stuff at that NPC or something? I'm kind of thinking that maybe I don't give a shit about the, whatever the cube is. Till it establishes itself better as being a big mechanic or something. Right now it just kind of seems annoying. Top or bottom? Let's see if it dead ends up here. Oh, big boy. Okay. Nope. Forgot to press down first. Oh god, big heavy attack. Oh god. Oh god. All of his He's got stuff on the outside. I don't know if stagger amounted to much. I didn't do any encountering, I guess. He did ultimately enter a stagger state right at the end. That's just a broken piece of terrain that's floating up there. Whoops. Seems these two paths combine either way. This way probably? That's where I'd put the secret is in the water. Hey, that's good. I probably need 3 now. That was a cool anime swing. Not that hidden of a moonstone into my inventory. Ah. The Tomb Slums entrance. Okay, those are just a bunch of sounds. Anybody coming out? Oh! He looked like everybody else, but he's like a super dude. Got him! I'm a little worried he might explode like the other guy did. Nope. Wow, that was a good time to have that ready. Anybody else? Hmm? Awkwardly responding to a message real quick. I'm on the clock. Nope. Too much dodging. There we go. Hey. No. Big swing. I do feel like I get bad habits from a weapon like this. Just because, as far as difficult stuff goes, I need to learn specifically how to play this game differently from Dark Souls. Like, this game, during boss fights, is very different from Dark Souls. It has a different setup going on with the way that it parries and so on. It's more like Sekiro, but also not quite like that. But during regular gameplay, when you're playing with a high damage weapon, you're best off just playing it like Dark Souls. You do a quick little dodge, and you do a big swing, and then they're dead. I could technically be practicing perfect parries during all these random encounters, but they die in one hit, so what kind of vulnerability am I trying to create? What's the point? It's a very self-inflicted difficulty where I take a bunch of hits from failing perfect parries in the pursuit of eventually nailing more perfect parries. And if you do that all game long, you might be better at them by the time a boss fight happens and struggle less against the boss. But you do kind of end up losing potentially the war against the Wanted, Black Rabbit Brotherhood. A criminal of 4 stalkers, charged with theft, assault, tampering with bodies, and other serious crimes. Their base is the Melon District, so be extremely careful when entering it. I'm gonna kill them with a big weird sword spear word? A weird word. It sounds like a Star Wars race. The sports are here. But yeah, the gap between bonfires in a Souls game is always a war of attrition where you're trying to get from point A to point B without running out of your overall health pool, which is your health bar plus how much you heal from all of your collective Estus flasks. You're trying to conserve your resources long enough to make it. And so losing health constantly because you're trying to practice perfect parries when the perfect parries don't actually help you fight those enemies is like a self-inflicted loss, because you're much more likely to not make it to your destination against enemies that otherwise aren't that at risk of actually stopping you. Oh my god, twice? I'm good at video games. Really got out of that range badly. Can I get up? Fire abrasive? I find it easy to understand. There is even treasure to be found in a collapsing shack. Find out what happened to the greedy couple. Yeah, that door I didn't open last time might have just been hiding behind a little secret like this, where you just hop off the right ledge. Don't go up. No. Can he hop up? That was alarming. Aha! I'm a genius. Ow. 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 Fuck. Ah. Fucking red attack spam. Brutal. It sucked. Please fall for it again, I beg you. I made it. Not my proudest, but I made it. What was this key for? The back of this shack that I already got through? Or was there another locked thing? Ooh. That's probably important. God, I was just backing up to pick up an item. Ugh. Sharp pipe. Path or dead end? This sure seemed like a whole thing. Oh, there's the shack slum key. I hear noises. That's not a good sound. Definitely had different aspirations for that fight and was not ready for him to start spamming that freaking unblockable attack. He had like 3. Ah! Don't kill me. No! Welp. That lift is probably going to bring me here, too. Ow. Ow. Dogs are a rough enemy to fight with a slow weapon. I would like to reactivate fast mode, but I also would like to not fight everyone again. We're not taking the top road because the bear is back. And no thank you. There we go. I would like to beat up enough dudes to get back into spear mode. Big guy's probably back. Oh god. Okay. That sucks. Not exactly getting my big stagger out, damn. Oh my god. Much better. I got there eventually. Okay. Gonna take some practice cause I'm bad at video games. This is a song I'm making up about my being bad at things, and I'm also bad at making the song. Okay. There we go. You killed me last time. Belfort Superior Corrosion Resistance Converter. I will say that slightly changing some interior mechanisms of your dude's gears is like the least interesting type of loot possible. Like, it functionally does the same thing, it's just that, like, the fact that it's like, I don't know, there's like 4 categories of thing that are hard to even distinguish from each other of what they even mean. Ah, hiccups. And those things are... I did a nose hiccup, that was, And like, that's the distinguishing stuff of what you can do and not, like, it's just kind of, Scribbles from a slum resident. Everything changed after the doctor spread the blue medicine. I buried my brother. I don't even know it was my brother. Who is the doctor? Whose blue hair is it in his cane? Blue hair? In the cane. That's a weird detail. I'm doing okay on experience. Let's head on back and spend some of it. It looks like the... Is that the butler that has new dialogue? Hello. Please sell a motivity crank.
At the House of Vanini, even priceless thing.
Request appraisal of collectibles. Smiling bunny mask.
Oh dear. This is the mark of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, a notorious band of stalkers. The Stalkers as a unified force ceased to be after their defeat at the Battle of the Workshop Tower. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood took over the Marlem district after that. I believe you could use this mark to move safely whilst on the Black Rabbit Brotherhood's turf, to use their unsophisticated vernacular, and give you entree to the black market as well. But be careful, sir. The Black Rabbit Brotherhood is quite infamous for how they treat interlopers. If they catch you, they'll put you in the liar's coffin. Yes, I believe it is as unpleasant as it sounds. Ah, and I see we have new physical records to catalogue for the collection. Such effort deserves commensurate reward, don't you think?
Crescent Moonstone, but that's not the type I want.
At the House of Vanini.
Sounds like another opportunity to lie. Please have another motivity crank. This says it restores the weapon handle's previous properties, but it doesn't say that you get them back, so it probably doesn't work that way, but it's hard to tell. But yeah, I don't think it gives you them back.
At the House of...
I don't have a ton of reason to sell, unless the stuff's just really helpful to sell. But it's like, here's 150, here's a handful, here's 50, yeah. Nothing in this game sells for that much, so it's not, and you don't have that, and you don't actually, stuff just doesn't drop that much either. So there is no big bulk of like, damn, I have 60 of these, might as well sell them, I'll give me a couple thousand, no.
You're full of surprises. A puppet that keeps changing, keeps growing. I can feel a change in your ergo. Change is never easy. Look at me. A human trapped in the shackles of the past. I wish I was back in Krat before the petrification disease, before the disaster. Krat was a city of light, a city of joy. I wish I could go back, even just for one day.
Just one, it's getting expensive. Just one tiny plorp should be enough.
I'll use my...
There we go. Did I just level up my motivity instead of my capacity? Damn it. It's fine. They're all things I need, but I was trying to do something else. I guess it highlights just how low my capacity was. I think I went from 67 to 57 and only a few points. It's like my you do get like multiple points of weight increased per one. So it is a chunky upgrade, so that's good. But I believe I still don't have any quartz. I think it goes in the material menu. I want some tree progress. How do I get some tree progress? Okay. The smiling bunny mark. To pass in certain areas. I can't seem to use it. But yeah, of course I'm gonna poke at whatever the system is for lying and see what happens. What black market you gain access to. See if I can stock up on like quartz or motivity cranks or something. Or whatever they might have to have on hand. But then probably get caught at some point and get put in the liar's coffin. Given that, we'll see. They'll probably make lying be a choice, but it's possible that the arc of lying to the rabbits just is the story of this zone. There we go. I saw this door on the way down, on the way up. Dark Moon, Moonstone of the Covenant. Dark Moon, Moonstone of the Covenant. That's 2. I already got 2 earlier, so it should be 3 this time. So I shouldn't be ready yet, but I'm closer to being ready way faster than I expected. And I am not going to complain about that. Ow. I'm so strong. Those aren't good noises. Is it just doggy, or is it worse? Is it just a guy? Ow. Double kill. Part of me keeps thinking there's a rally mechanic that lets you heal from hitting people, because it kind of feels like Bloodborne. But that's not in this game. The only thing that's like a rally mechanic is that you can heal after you block damage to try to get the health back. But if you don't block, then it's just lost health. Ballard's Bridge. Rainy night. Speaking of Bloodborne, there was a funny detail where so many profiles and platforms try to create like a yearly recap, like Spotify or whatever. And so Sony is like, here's your recap of what you did this year. Whoa. And all I did this year on PlayStation platforms in total was play Bloodborne with Bird. That's it. I did my playthrough of Bloodborne with Bird in co-op much earlier in the year, which is when we met Illusory, because he just showed up in my stream comments in the middle of the playthrough, which was wild. And that's my one use of a PlayStation platform this entire year. Amusingly, the thing misreports my usage too, because I did use my PS5 to play Bloodborne, but it says that I was playing it on PS4. Whoop. How is he still not dead? I really didn't do damage. That was wild. Item hiding down there? Vivid frag. I don't trust that bridge. I don't trust that bridge much at all. Saw blade. I don't trust it. Weird. I didn't expect this little dead end to be safe. Okay. Okay. I don't know if I completed my earlier thought, but I had the hypothesis that it's possible that they might just be like this, you infiltrating the rabbits and then being found out and ultimately fighting a boss there is like the plot of the zone potentially. Or it could be a choice to lie to them. We'll see, because it has been a choice in the past. But it could just be the theming of the zone. There's a big guy. That's a real big guy.
Mic test 1 2 1 2. We have a schedule update for the intruder. It's tonight.
Ow. Aha. Nope, out of range. Whew. I didn't charge it up enough, I guess? Shit. I missed the opening. No! All that stagger for naught. That sucked. But I fucked up. He didn't have to charge it up, apparently. I did some clever things, though. Like, I realized that you could probably hide behind the tree. He was either gonna bowl it down or get stuck on it. And not only did he get stuck on it, he bounced off it specifically, so it actually stunned him. He didn't just, like, awkwardly run in place into it. Flashbacks to my very stupid fight against the fire boss from Demon Souls all the way back in, like, 2013. A decade ago. My first playthrough, I had a very... The Flame Lurker. He's hard, to be clear. He's a hard boss fight, to this day, to some extent.
Now, here's a safety reminder for all the malcontents of the Marlin district. A nasty puppet has invaded our territory. Be careful.
Me worrying about overlapping the dialogue and so on. Hopefully I can find what item I just got. I should have read it better. Shit. Should still be marked as new. Target unknown. Sweepers Branch Office Newspaper Archives. Target info unknown. Affiliation Sweepers. Codename Cat. Joined the group as an apprentice stalker, but is inactive in the group. Has been reported multiple times for ignoring ranks and neglecting duty. Caught being in contact for the past year with the Fox, a bastard stalker. Under investigation for leaking inside secrets, but has not responded yet. Extra info, the Fox. From the Bastards. As it is with the Bastards, she is assumed to have been ousted from noble succession. The interesting thing is, she claims that a cat is a bastard of the family. So in other words, her lost sibling. If the information above is reliable, the cat is possibly a spy from the Bastards. It's an unofficial interrogation, so there are no restrictions to the methods available. So they caught the cat and they're interrogating them. So maybe we can free the cat to curry favor with the fox. That'll be interesting. I should probably rewatch Pinocchio. I didn't really like it as a kid, so I haven't seen it forever. I saw the Guillermo del Toro movie, which I think pretty much just had humans in it, if I remember correctly. It had a very different approach, but I have not rewatched the Disney version in ages. I primarily remember because of footage of like clips from the remake that there is a fox in it, and I of course remember the donkey transformation sequence for several reasons. That movie definitely awakened stuff in some people. But that's why I was like, oh my god, the donkey's right, because they turn into donkeys. So when the mad donkey was mad at Geppetto, I was like, oh, they're doing a thing. I see what's happening. That does lead to the looming question of the whale, which, given that some of the stuff is going a little cosmic horror with its monsters, in a way that itself lines up with Bloodborne a little bit, where like you have one type of monster early on, but then later on there's a different type of monster from a second category. Like along with there being hunters and so on. Oh god, speaking of Bloodborne, this fucking room. Okay. But yeah, if we're leaning more and more towards cosmic horror and Lovecrafty type things, then a whale definitely is a thing you should be expecting looming in the distance on top of the Pinocchio stuff, and just wondering what monstrous form that's going to take. That'll be interesting. Not gonna lie, this is kind of out of my way. I expected something a little cooler than just a resistance item. Time to get nervous. But yeah, when I was talking in the Discord about the fact, like, oh yeah, the donkey and the fox, I remember those parts of Pinocchio. Someone else pointed out that there was like, I think there was like I think they said something along like gravedigger rabbits or something. There were rabbits or something in Pinocchio. These are all connections. Probably watch it before I finish the playthrough to get some more of the stuff a little bit. Even though that's not the original story. I should read Pinocchio also. I don't know how much of a story, how long that takes. It's probably an audiobook. I'm in danger. Could it be, am I going to get through one of these sequences without fucking up and dying? It's so rare to get through this kind of platforming section in one of these games. But this one's pretty responsive and everything's behaving like you expect it to, which is a surprise. I'm used to mean surprises. It's just like, why did that happen? No, why is he sliding like that? Welcome to the territory of the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. Remember, anyone who fails to pay the protection fee on time is headed straight for the coffin. I'm definitely going on the coffin. Nope. Checkpoint. Oh, there's the fox and the cat. I guess he's not captured right now. He seems fine. And there she is.
Oh, I saw you go into the factory. But you're here. So, wait. You came out of the factory? That's a new one.
I thought you would have been burnt to a crisp. But look at you. All intact.
Brother, being too frank is rude. We should praise him for being stronger than he looks. Why not join forces? Play our cards right, and we could defeat the villains who rule this area.
They're the Black Rabbit Brotherhood. The baddies who torment the residents around here.
We heard their hideout is stuffed with treasure. And it's a good time to liberate this place as well. Pretty sweet deal, don't you think?
All you have to do is create a distraction. That's it. The rest we can handle.
So, you gonna do it? Smart choice. Look at our smart friend, Gatto.
We're no slouches in the fisticuffs department in a pinch. You lead. We'll bring up the rear and watch for hidden threats.
So, given what I can remember about the fox, you don't want to trust him. In the other story, he manipulates Pinocchio and for his own ends and says something that sounds like a good idea to him at the time, but is clearly only beneficial to him and bad for Pinocchio and so on, and it creates a big problem. I think the orange-haired character was the fox in the Guillermo del Toro movie, and the similar stuff happens there or something. So, you should not trust the fox from what I know from that. But on top of that, the cat has specifically already screwed me over and conned me by selling me a unique collectible rare book from the series that I'd supposed to have been picking up so far, but actually it was just something he wrote himself and it was nonsense and it was a waste of money. So they're all just screwing with us so far. And so old data points say this is bad. But, you know, every time we play a game by From Software, we let ourselves get tricked by patches just to see it happen again and see what form it takes this time and hear what he's going to say this time. Even though we know after the first time what he's going to do. There's been like 4 opportunities to get screwed over by patches, I think, at this point, and I've done all of them every time.
I like it. Let's fight on.
I can't talk to him at all. Okay. I keep very briefly thinking that she sounds like Felicia Day, and then she talks for a little bit longer, and I'm like, nope, that's not her. I think she's done voice acting. By which I mean finished, and not has done it before. I know she's done it before. I remember her character in Dragon Age 2. And she had a stint of acting.
Not bad, eh? How are
Okay, they're not even being coy about it. Being slightly coy about it, but not well. They're not good at it because they think I can't hear them. But I've got dog ears. Nope, can't pull that trick. Well, they actually are here, though. They almost certainly screw me over, but I'm surprised they're actually interacting. And I think there's no friendly fire, or we'd be immediately in trouble here. Oh, they're actually helping. They're not just here, they're explicitly helping. That's neat. I thought they were going to be like, oh yeah, we'll bring up the rear and look for hidden threats. You go on ahead, and then it was just going to be me playing a level like normal, and then they show up later in the story, implying that they were totally helping. Just that dog just jumped in like a volunteer. Kill me too, kill me too. Ooh, ladder. Crescent Moonstone, I would like others. Is this fall damage? Nope. Big swing? Nope. Oh, that was the stagger. I should have followed up. She looked like she was rearing up to... Ah, I hit the banister. Ooh. I learned a combo. After the first charge attack, you then do a different one that's a multi-hit. It's like... It's a cool combo. So if you find the opening, it's definitely worth following up with the second hit, because it do big thing. It big strong man. Very cool. Masculine. Look at me go. I don't know what this bit is. These look like a video game destructible pillar thingy. They've got like the slight Hanna-Barbera effect thing going on where they're just like a little too bright and a little too... They stand out just a little too much. Like, look how smooth that floor is. The wood, and look how fucked up this wood look. It just looks destructible. I'm so surprised that it's not. Maybe it is. Maybe it's like narratively destructible, but not like me destructible. Oh well.